Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stinchfield. So the Biden administration is lying to us. They claim they tried to get all Americans out, and our allies as well, out of Afghanistan, but they did not. In fact, just the opposite is happening. We are told the last military plane has left Afghanistan. All our troops are now gone. Making matters even more disturbing, I'm told by my sources that over the weekend, the State Department shut down virtually all evac operations in Afghanistan, including evacuations being run by private organizations. The State Department's unconscionable actions through all of this have been described to me as one atrocity after another, and even criminal at times. So here's an example of the State Department's ineptitude. Moments before the suicide bomber blew himself up, we are being told the State Department ordered refugees already inside the gates of the airport to be forced back out into the crowd. Those Afghans who were identified, I am told, as friends of America were amongst the casualties. They were forced back through the gates and back into the mayhem. The people I'm talking with that have direct knowledge of all of this insist the State Department is to blame. So it, like Joe Biden, has blood on its hands, lots of blood. And sadly, it doesn't end here for the State Department. So while we focus on Kabul, there are thousands of Americans spread across Afghanistan with no way to get themselves to safety without the help of elite units of retired Tier 1 Special Forces operators working on the ground on a volunteer basis. All of this being told to me by my sources in and around Afghanistan. Now, these elite units are doing their best to rescue anyone they can. Now, remember, as of today, the U.S. military is gone. The last military planes have left, and the Pentagon admits they left people behind.
No American citizens came out on the last, what we call the Joint Tactical Exfiltration, the last 5 jets to leave. There's a lot of heartbreak associated with this departure. We did not get everybody out that we wanted to get out.
Heartbreak? What about the people left behind? Not a single American on the last 5 jets to leave Kabul airport? It's estimated that hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans have been left behind throughout the country, who General McKenzie says couldn't make it to the airport. Come on. We now know that the Taliban was blocking entrances to the airport, and anyone they look at as a dual citizen of Afghanistan and the United States, they don't recognize that, so they were stopping them. So now what's happening? These elite private units trying to evacuate people are responding to calls from our own government. This is what my sources are telling me. While at the same time, the State Department wants them to cease and desist all rescues. These groups are refusing. How brave is that? You want to know who tried to call them? Here's who they tell me tried to call for help over the weekend. The U.S. Army Special Forces 10th Group. It told these elite forces of volunteer Green Berets and Navy SEALs that the 10th Group from the Army has 1,000 assets that still need to be evacuated, including members of the Afghan Army's U.S.-trained commando force. Consider them dead men walking if captured by Taliban forces. Another group calling on private warriors for help? The CIA's highly clandestine Orange Group. So I'm being told by sources, again, in and around Afghanistan, that the CIA's Orange Group desperately needs help evacuating some of its agents, interpreters, and informants. Consider that. The CIA and the Army's Special Forces Group are asking for private help because, by all accounts, the Biden military, now hijacked by the State Department, is turning its backs on them. Just listen to the lies we got today from this administration.
Yeah, referring to the State Department on the numbers of Americans they're still in contact with. That's something for them to speak to.
Why were there U.S. troops at that gate at that time?
We're not going to investigate it in public for Americans and other individuals that want to be able to leave Afghanistan after our withdrawal is complete. Right now, we do not anticipate a military role in that effort.
It's disgusting and despicable to think the commander-in-chief, Joe Biden, who's the head of that organization, the Pentagon, is okay with leaving Americans behind. Now, I spent hours on the phone this weekend, literally hours, working with a private group led by a former American intelligence officer that are organizing units of these retired Green Berets and Navy SEALs. They have secured an airfield, we are told, in the city of Mazar al-Sharif, 4 hours north of Afghanistan. This group has secured 6 AM-12 aircrafts, I'm told, that can hold up to 100 people. But the State Department, again, is working to shut flight operations down, and they did throughout the weekend, and even telling neighboring countries not to allow private evacuation flights to land. Why would the State Department do this unless they want to see America fail, which I do believe they do? So undeterred, this group is still getting planes in the air, but they're being forced to find other nations willing to ignore the U.S. State Department's request. But why should we be surprised at any of this?
Thank you, Commissioner. I really think it all works. I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead.
Mr. President, on Afghanistan.
I'm not going to answer Afghanistan now.
Can you say if it's still an
Okay.
acute risk as the Air Force, sir?
You know, I call him Joe Biden all the time because I don't have the wherewithal to call him Mr. President. He doesn't deserve it. The nation is asking questions about Afghanistan, and he doesn't want to take questions on it. So as our 13 brave warriors returned in flag-draped coffins, you see on the screen there, their derelict and incompetent commander-in-chief, how else can I put it, couldn't even uncover his face. Outside, amongst the vaccinated, he hid behind a political mask. How dare he, this man, when the men he got killed, and women, by the way, are coming off of that plane in caskets. And even worse, he apparently had someplace else to be. Look at him there, looking at his watch when time has literally stopped for so many families. Why are we surprised? The Afghanistan surrender is a total catastrophe when you got this buffoon in charge of everything.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.